Let's make my arrowhead quilt pattern using a layer cake. One 40 count layer cake, which are 10-inch squares, will yield you a 48-inch by 60-inch quilt. But let's go ahead and get started. First, you will take two 10-inch squares and place them right sides together, and you'll sew a 1/4-inch seam allowance all around all four edges. Once you do so, everything will be connected, and all you will have to do is cut two 45-degree angles in both directions, which will yield you 4 half-square triangles. Now do be careful when you are ironing them open, as we just cut on the bias, which will make everything stretchy. So feel free to use starch, as it will help stiffen everything up. But once your half-square triangles are pressed open, you will trim them down to a 6.5-inch square. Next, you will take all of those 4 half-square triangles, and you're going to pick a favorite print and form your Flying Geese block. And as always, you'll sew your blocks together to form rows, and then lastly, sew those rows together to complete a 12.5-inch quilt block. Now all you have to do is repeat this step until you have made a total of 20 quilt blocks. Once all of your blocks are made, you will lay each block out side by side in a 4x5 block layout. And for your odd rows, you're going to point the flying geese towards the right. And for the even rows, you're going to point the flying geeses towards your left. Then as always, you'll sew your blocks together to form rows. And then lastly, sew your rows together to complete your quilt top. And here is what my quilt looks like all finished. For the background, I am using a coordinating print from within the collection. And for the thread choice, I am going with glide threads in the color Mocha. And here is a close-up of the quilting. Today I went with something pretty simple, which are like nesting loops. But once again, one 40 count layer cake will yield you a 48-inch by 60-inch quilt, which makes it a very nice jumbo size lap quilt. And pretty much zero waste, because all you have to do is just square your blocks up. But if you could please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.